All right, man. The Chinese are up to no good yet again, and it's in America. So let's see what they're up to.
Now to a wild story that we've been following. Chinese nationals are taking advantage of birthright citizenship laws, having little Chinese babies on U.S. soil, meaning they are U.S. citizens, but then they take them back to China and raise them there. And right now, there are over 1 million children that were born in the U.S. being raised in China. Over 1 million. Think about that. Because this is what's happening here in the state of Texas right now.
They're being encouraged to get their tourist visas before they get pregnant, allegedly, and then they're being told, come here, we have everything set up for you, allegedly, and come to one of these homes. We'll take care of your stay. We'll take you around, even take you to tourist sites.
Tourist sites? Look at that neighborhood. Beautiful houses, beautiful neighborhood being rented out so Chinese women can have birth and then go see the Alamo. Jenny Terre is the immigration reporter for the Daily Wire who you just saw. She broke the story, and Chloe Trapanado is an opinion writer at the Daily Wire. Ladies, nice to have you tonight. Jenny, can you take us through what's happening in these homes just outside? This is outside Houston, Texas.
Right, exactly. So outside Houston, Texas, in quiet suburban neighborhoods, there are about 4 homes that have been identified in a state lawsuit that are accused of operating as these Chinese birth tourism centers, where they're essentially bringing Chinese women from China. They're coaching them allegedly on how to navigate the US immigration system and essentially to commit immigration fraud. And then they take care of them. They ensure their birth is facilitated here, that baby gets citizenship, and then you can go right back home. And this is all happening in these quiet neighborhoods where really you wouldn't suspect a thing.
No, all right, just a quick follow-up. How much does it cost? And are these Chinese women, are they having the babies at those houses, or are they going down to like the local hospital?
Yeah, so all of this is being posted on their TikTok account, by the way. So you can see their interactions at the hospital. They are
Wow.
appearing to give birth at local hospitals here. And then, of course, taking those babies back. But the thing is, they're committing fraud allegedly, because when you're coming here and being coached to get a tourist visa,
Yeah.
but you're really coming to give birth to a US citizen baby that you can reap benefits from eventually. When they turn 21, they can start to apply for status for their parents and
Okay.
for any siblings. So it's just committing, again, that fraud, but then also you're engaging in chain migration.
It's insanity. Chloe, also, you got to get that birth certificate. So clearly these.
I'm gonna say this right now: China, Africa, and India are the most heavily populated countries in the world. So much that they're overflowing. They don't and they never will have enough jobs for everyone because so many people there. So they're going to other countries. I understand why they come to the U.S. because U.S. is easy to get over. It's easy to scam. So I understand that, but Europe is not huge. So even though I know some over there, they're already going to Canada as well. It's not just U.S. They also flooding Canada. So a lot of people in China, they're going to Africa, China, India. This is the thing. I'm gonna call out of this. I don't count them as Chinese. The Indians, you know what I'm talking about. Even though they share the same country, like they're at the bottom of China or whatever, I don't count them as Indians. As Chinese. I'm gonna call them Indians. That's what they are. Just because they've been there or whatever. No, bro. So that's me. So call it what. I'm not gonna call it African, an Asian man. I never call him a Chinese. What's up? I don't care how long he been there. Like, no, bro. You're African. You are not Chinese. You probably been here all your life. You're African that's living in China. Same thing with the Indians. Like, however they got that situated, they claim them as Chinese. Fuck no. But that's just me. I'm just calling it what it is, man. I'm not going to sugarcoat it or go along with the program. Like, no, those are clearly Indians, and you're clearly, Chinese people. Y'all just saying, living on the same soil. But anyway, China, India, and Africa, heavily, heavily populated countries. So, and that's why they come over here because they don't have any options over there in China. Africa, they have all the options in the world. They just don't use their own resource. They rely off the white man, to they don't even take care of them. They just so infatuated with white people. But Africa has everything they need to be not even a trillion, it's like more than that. They just don't use their own resources. But they let other people come over their country and rob them blind while they still stay poor. So if Africa get their shit together, they'll be the number one country in the world because they have all the resources. But India, no, they don't do so much. They're good at technology, but again, there's so many people there, and it's hard to come up in life. So you have to do a lot of scamming and scheming over there to come up. It's not a lot of rich people in India, but again, it's so many people there. There's only so many jobs you can have, right? It's only so many lawyers, so many doctors, there's a lot of, it's only so much you can have. It's just, so many jobs that's available. So it is what it is, man. So they come to other countries, and not all of them come, for the best intentions. Let's be honest. They know about our crooked system, our broken system, our corrupted system, and they know they can take advantage of it. That's why they come over here. So majority of them come over here for that. Let's be honest with you. Like, there's many people that come over here, a lot of them undocumented or whatever. A lot of them come over here just to game the system. Only a few come over here for good intentions. This is honest truth. So
People are exploiting our laws. Chloe, why
You
have
said
the
it.
kids born here? I know that Jenny just sort of touched on this, but why make sure they're born here and then raise them in China? Why do that?
Well, I think they're probably being taken back to the CCP to be indoctrinated there by the communists. And then they come back over here after they've gotten their education by the communists. And then they come back to America and take advantage of our systems. Like Jenny said, you did excellent reporting on this. I watched all of the videos. I just cannot believe that this is happening right in front of our eyes in, like you said, these quiet suburban neighborhoods. And they do it all under the guise of tourist visas, just like they're taking a little staycation in America. But the purpose of a temporary visa is not to steal U.S. citizenship for a child by giving birth in the United States. And of course, all of this comes on the heels of another Chinese spy, Eileen Wang, being found guilty to acting as an illegal agent of the Chinese government. We have
yeah, they known for that. The last story I heard about, they had a Asian employee working for Tesla. So if you know the story, if you don't, but if you know how spies work, then you pretty much can figure it out. But anyway, he was working for Tesla, and he worked there for so many years. His hires hit him up, said, "Hey, go ahead and bring that work back home." So he got all the data he need, took his ass back to China, and that was it. They picked him up though. They got the FBI involved. They picked him up. Surprisingly, I'm like, hey, y'all picked him up. You know what I mean? They all look alike, but anyway, they picked him up. So he was over there playing the good guy role at Tesla, because them, oh, he's Asian, you know how they go. So they think he's just you know goody two shoes or whatever the case may be. He pulled a fast one on him, so he got all the data, and he took his ass back to China. And they did catch him, but yeah, that happens all the time. But yeah, they just don't want American people to thrive in America. They look at them for cheap labor or whatever the case may be, but it's just America don't even want to hire Americans. Let's be honest, they so quick to get these foreigners because they assume that all of them going to be cheap labor, which is true. That's really what they want. They want cheap labor. That's why New York or whatever they had that refugee. I forgot the actual term for it, but they let all those illegals come in America with no passport, none of that, because they did that so they can flood the workforce with cheap labor, and then they push out the Americans out. So that was the whole thing about that when Biden let all them illegals come in so they can get all the cheap labor. Like, do the research on that. It's on the net, but that's why they let all them illegals come in so they can get all the cheap labor. It's like, okay, well, what kind of cheap labor are you looking to get? Because you only can do the regular job. They can't do the high end jobs because they're not educated. But either way, like Tyson's Farm, Walmart, like all them regular jobs, you know what I mean? That's why they let all them legals in. Then Trump came and started kicking everybody out. But that was the reason. So they can just get rid of all the regular Americans and replace them with immigrants for the cheap labor. That way the companies can make even more money. So, yeah, it's a lot of cricket stuff that's going on in America, man. But, yeah.
Chinese-backed purchasing of U.S. farmland all over the place. So I'm very glad that Trump and the Daily Wire and all eyes are kind of being targeted on this right now. And working like this.
Chloe, does it concern you that there are more than 1 million of these little Chinese babies that were born here that are now back in China?
It sure does, Rob. And I think maybe we should take a page out of Japan's book and maybe put an end to birthright citizenship. Trump is working on it, and I'd like to see that get solidified.
This is,
Canada already did it. They're no longer allowing people to come over there and gain citizenship. But a lot of countries they're not doing. It's just they doing that for a reason. I'm saying this. The UK they're getting destroyed right now. I see so many videos about people just going downtown. Just walking around. There's so many immigrants there. You wouldn't even think that you're no longer in the UK, and it's getting like that in many countries around the world. But it's not like getting like that in Africa. It's not getting like that in China. It's not getting like that in India because first of all, nobody wants to go to India. Nobody wants to really go to China. At least in mass amounts because once you understand the economy that's it's jacked up, you're like, nah, I'm okay. Normally people who go over there, normally people who go to other countries and live there, they're retired. So they not working. So they don't care about getting jobs because they not working. They strictly going off their retirement. Now Africa's the same thing. They have certain countries as a continent, right? Where they're doing pretty good, but still, it's like it's just a lot of people don't want to just leave the country they're in to go to a whole completely different country, especially if it's like a third world country like Africa or India. I haven't heard anybody say they're going to India. Now, there's some stories about people moving there, but they own a business. But other than that, it's like I'm pretty sure you can't find any videos about people moving to India. But China's like it's less likely. They must go into the places like super cheap to live, Thailand or whatever like that. Nobody's really moved to Africa, so their economy is real jacked up as well. So where can you really go? And on top of that, it's like if it's not broke, don't fix it. So a lot of people in UK they getting slammed because all them immigrants coming over there taking their jobs, taking all their resources, taking the government assistance, and they giving it all to them. So it's a lot that's going on, man. So you guys have to do your research. But I mean, me personally, I'm like, we full. You know what I mean? We full. Let's just chill out, bro. Like you can come visit or whatever, but all they coming over here getting your visas and you messing up our economy because you gotta understand they're coming over here because their economy is fucked up. So what do you think? What do you think people gonna do to our economy? If their economy is messed up, they come to another country. What do you think they're gonna do to their economy? They're gonna mess it up too because they never fix the problem in their own country. So that's why I'm like, nah, don't be letting these people just come over here like that. But of course, America, they want to make America white or whatever. So, and then especially if you're a pet to them, they'll use you, and then when they get tired of you, they'll get rid of you. But at the end of the day, it's like we full, man. Like chill out with all that. You know what I mean? Like fix what's going on in Mexico, fix what's going on in Africa, fix what's going on in India, fix what's going on in China, man. Instead of you running to the next country and then you ruining the economy as well. Because if you don't have that many jobs, and there's millions of y'all coming over here every year, what make you think we're going? That doesn't make any sense. All you doing is bringing your. I say all the time, they never bring any solutions, only problems. So if your economy, your country's jacked up, you need to fix it instead of fleeing, because wherever you go, you're going to mess up the economy as well. That's just the honest truth. So
Justification. Jenny, you knocked on the door of one of these homes. This is what happened. Take a look.
The state is saying that you're bringing Chinese women here to give birth. You can't talk about it. He's recording.
I'm sorry, I cannot give you any information.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that creeper. Make America cowboy again. What was he doing, Jenny? Is that like the madam?
Yeah, that shirt really threw me for a loop. But that guy is actually named in the lawsuit. He's a defendant in it by the state. So when he approached me at the door, I was really shocked to find that he was the one who answered. And when he answered, he didn't want to talk about any of the allegations against him. And he shooed me away quickly and said he needed to get a lawyer. So by the time that was over, I walked down the street, was taking some photos to show what these houses look like. And then he came out and was recording me, demanded my ID. He eventually,
he demanded your ID.
I gave him. Yes, he demanded my ID.
All right, Chloe, on some level, isn't this just kind of creepy? Like, Americans aren't going to China to have babies. Like, how just creepy is this? And that guy.
Scale of 1 to 10, it's a 25.
Right.
And I'm gonna say this too: you can't go to them other countries and do that, especially what country I'm thinking about right now. I mean, I guess I can use Canada or whatever, but they already passed a law. But you can't go to like a certain country, like what's it? I think it's Cuba or something, to where they got this strict thing about they only want white people. You know what I mean? So if you're an actual, I guess a Hispanic, I don't know the exact term. Forgive me for it, but if you have melanin, they don't claim you. You can go to Mexico, same thing. That they shoe all the the dark the people with the melanin, they don't want to claim. I think it's like Spain or somewhere. I watched the documentary. The guy, he was there, he was born there, and he was like well, he's a little older now, but he was in his 30s or whatever. He was born there, everything, and he could not get citizenship. So the guy that was going around doing the documentary, he was asking me like, what's the steps and why this and that. He said, because I'm black, they won't give me citizenship, even though he was born there, this and that. So just because you have a kid on that soil, they still won't claim you. They still won't allow you to get citizenship. So you can't do that. That's why everybody want to come to America when they want to do their fucked up ass scams, because they know they can get away with it because they overlook it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, you go to other countries, try that, it won't work. Like I said, dude was in his mid-30s, and he was born there and everything, and they would not give him citizenship. And he would go every year to try to get citizenship. So the documentary ended before they got the results, but I don't know. I don't know. I hope something happened, but they real strict on whitening their country. So that has everything to do with it. The dude wasn't a criminal, nothing like that, and he was working, but they just wouldn't give it to him because he was black. Well, he had melanin. I'll say that because when you say black, I mean, I'm looking at like a black color. People say black, and he's like, you be brown or light skin. Like, no, like he had melanin, just to be exact. And they would not allow him to get citizenship. And he was in his mid-30s, and he been trying all his life to get that. So hopefully, he gets the help he need. But it's the government. They just, even though that's illegal, but that's a different country. In my country, it's a different situation. But in his country, it's different laws. Like the laws here don't mean the same thing in Jerusalem or Timbuktu or whatever. Same thing in Canada. Canada got different laws from us, and it's vice versa. So even though that would be illegal here, but over there it's not illegal. They discriminate strictly off his color and deny him citizenship. So
Very, very
Right.
creepy.
I think
Maybe
so.
we should all just start going to China and having babies. Well, actually, no.
I
don't
wouldn't.
wanna-
I wouldn't do it in China. I'd go to like St. Lucia or something, like like someplace. What am I doing? China.
It's so much
Jenny,
more
just
shit.
what are the
keep in mind, they not drunk. You see the white guy, he going fed on the Asians, but he's the same white people that the Asians kiss their ass. You know what I mean? They're the same the white people the Asian worship. I tell you people all the time, like, y'all over here want to be accepted into the white community, but they show their true self every single time. I didn't watch white people disrespect Asian and Mexicans all the time, and they never stand up for themselves because they want to be included into the white society so bad that they allow these white people to talk down to them, use them, and abuse them, and right in front of their face. So, but like I said, no one respects a traitor, so they get everything they ask for. So you can have a kid by a white man all you want, you'll never be considered white. This is what it is. So even though they don't want to hear that, that's the truth. But the same white people y'all worship, look how they doing y'all on national television. They not even drunk. So imagine they had some liquid courage in them. They'll go fed. But this is these same white people y'all wanna worship. So you get everything you deserve. So I don't care because no one respects a traitor.
that neighborhood? I mean, this looks like a great suburban Texas neighborhood. What do the neighbors think? Like, do they know what's going on?
Yeah, so once I kind of explained to them what these properties are alleged to be doing inside, they started to kind of realize they had seen some of the signs of that. Lots of Asian people going in and out at all different times,
Right.
lots of different cars at the properties. But, the other thing that really struck me is that in this country right now, so many young Americans cannot afford homes. Meanwhile, you have these Chinese people who are essentially operating this scheme and making supposedly a ton of money off of this. It's a very profitable industry
And paying
they're
cash for
engaging
these
in.
homes.
Yes,
Pricing
exactly.
out American citizens. It's terrible. Jenny Terra, appreciate you being here. Excellent reporting. Chloe Trapanato will have you back. Great to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now to a wild
Well,
story that we've been following.
There you have it. Chinese up to it again, and like I said, I'm exposing everything and everybody. So for you people to think that Asians are so innocent and sweet, nah, they over there pimping, killing, selling drugs, scamming, just like anybody else. So I tell you guys all the time, never, judge a book by its cover. Never assume because someone has a specific look or a particular career that they're innocent or they're Also mindy or whatever the case may be. Look at all those priests that's over there that's sexually assaulting those kids, them boys on a regular, and the parents know about it, but they still let their kids go there. Now you got some white people that like, nah, I ain't doing that, but a lot of them they don't care because they hypnotize, they program. So if you got a priest over there raping kids on a regular, what make you think a doctor ain't up to some kind of criminal activity, or you hear it all the time from police officers. That's normal now. So never assume because somebody is from a certain particular group or they have a certain kind of job that they're just a perfect person. There's no such thing as a perfect person. So as soon as you realize the bullshit, your life won't be so hectic. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, guys, let me know down below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and if you donate to my cash app, I really appreciate you. And yeah, until next time.